everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Sugar and Spikes podcast. So, you guys may have noticed that last week I didn't do one, and it was kind of unexpected, but if I'd been honest with myself, I think I knew that it wasn't going to happen just because it was Thanksgiving, and with all of the holiday craziness, my schedule just kind of shifted more than I expected it to. And that's one thing that I wanted to talk about today. It's just the idea of all of the holiday stuff that's going on. Either family responsibilities or social responsibilities or, anything like that. It's kind of ironic that the holidays are supposed to be times to hang out and be thankful and, just really embrace all of the goodness of life. But then we get so caught up in this idea of, I've got to do this and I need to go do this and I need to see this person. And we add so much more pressure onto ourselves. And then just kind of losing the whole purpose. I'm not even going to get into the whole spiel on consumerism and Christmas, though I do want to take a second and talk about this whole Black Friday, Cyber Monday thing. And I want to see if anyone else is as burnt out as I am on it. I know there are some crazy good deals out there. And I really, I actually wanted to take advantage of them. But my timeline and feed and all of the messaging and stuff that I was getting was just so overwhelming that my brain couldn't piece things apart, and I couldn't decide what it was that I wanted or which things were the best deals and would be worth it, to the point where I ended up not buying. Well, it wasn't that I didn't buy anything. I bought one thing, and it was from a small business, a gal that I talk about kind of often. I got some stuff from Metal Marvels because she had 50% off, and there was no way that I could miss out on that because there's always something I want from her. But in terms of big box stores and designer stuff, Coach had a killer sale with everything being 30% off and other bags being half off. I couldn't do it. It wasn't that I didn't have the money or anything like that. It was too much, and I was just over it. I don't know. Did anyone else have that experience with Black Friday and Cyber Monday? I'd be really interested to know if maybe the flooding of messaging and stuff is just getting to be too damn much. I know I did see that it was the biggest digital sales in history. So maybe it's just me and I have my own shit going on. But yeah, I don't know. The holidays are different this year, it feels like. I don't know if anyone feels that, but along with all of the holiday pieces, I wanted to talk about the idea of actually taking a break. And when I say a break, I mean a real break, not I'm gonna go take a 20-minute break because I need to, because it's on my to-do list, because self-care is on my to-do list, but actually taking a moment or taking a couple of hours to where you forget the other things that you need to do. Over the last 5 days, that's right, I took 5 days off from a lot of the stuff that I was working on. And it was fabulous. Thanksgiving I spent with family and just had a really good conversation and memories, and watching the kiddos laugh and have fun was amazing. And those were moments that helped get me out of everything else that was going on, to even binging Riverdale on Friday, I think it was. And then yesterday playing playing old school video games with the husband while we were blasting 90s music and stuff. Like, things that took me completely outside of the life that, like, I've built and love. But every now and then we need to get out of the cycle. And so often, like, our self-care pieces become a part of just the cycle, and they kind of lose their potency, if that makes sense. A lot of times people end up in ruts and stuff because they're just kind of going through the motions of everything, and that includes self-care. And self-care doesn't really do the trick at that point, right? So I think one thing to remember is, as you're going through the holidays, and looking back at the year and looking forward to the new year and all of that fun stuff, like, just make sure that you're taking advantage of new opportunities and new things to do, new ways to experience life, and all of that fun stuff. Because the thing is like, that's really the only thing that's going to keep you going, because monotony just breeds complacency, which breeds boredom, which breeds a dead business or poor test scores or poor performance at work, you know? So finding time for yourself to get out of whatever routine and cycle you have going on is really, really key. Yeah, I don't know, like, it's not, so often there's conversation around like, well, like, you're designed to break the mold and do all of these really great things, but like, fucking break your own mold. We're creatures of habit, and that stems from evolution and stuff, and it helps keep us safe, and our brains really like it, but it's really, really important to step outside of that mold and try something different that you wouldn't expect. In a way, it does kind of reset your brain to go back to square one, and then, like, you have more excitement around other activities and pieces like that. So even things that did bore you, coming back from a new experience, you see it in a new way. So that's my piece on taking a break and doing something different. And the thing is like, I also want to say, like, it's okay to take unplanned breaks. I know if you're like me, you're a fan of schedules and plotting things out and knowing exactly when things are going to happen, which is great. But, like, I wasn't planning on taking 5 days off. I wasn't planning on kind of walking away for a full fucking 5 days, especially as I'm, like, getting ready to launch my mastermind and all of these things. It was kind of the most impromptu thing I could have done. And it was really kind of the best thing that I could have done, because, like, it shows me some areas for growth, right? Like, now I can look back and see kind of what the indicators were and the warning signs showing me that I really needed a break. Because if I wasn't planning on it, then that means it got to a point where I desperately needed it. So, like, what were the warning signs, and how would I have known to say, you know, I'm really starting to get drained, I'm really starting to get burned out, maybe in the next couple days I'll do this, and I'll engage in this type of self-care, I'll try this new thing. So it definitely shows me a growth edge that I have, which is great, because we're all learning and growing, right? And the other piece is, the other thing that makes unplanned breaks okay, well, not okay, but the other thing that helps is systems. And systems I have found to be super overwhelming when starting from scratch. But if you have systems in place, like if you take the time to have systems in place, then when you take unexpected breaks, you still show up, and you're still, like, present for your audience or your network, wherever wherever your name needs to be seen, your name still shows up. So like, yeah, I took 5 days off and I didn't do anything except my social media was still going. I was still posting my 30-second tricks and mindset shifts. I was still on Instagram. Well, like I wasn't, but things were posting, right? So I was still out there in the world. I may not have done a podcast. I didn't send out an email. And I mean, emails are easy enough to automate, which is something I'm working on. Speaking of growth edges, there are also growth edges in business. But like I was out there and I didn't lose the inertia or momentum that my social media piece has going because I took 5 days off, right? And then anytime I was inspired to like post other things, it was just bonus. So yeah. It's okay to take unplanned breaks and just use it as a sign that maybe, there was something you were missing, and have systems in place. And the thing is, guys, if systems are overwhelming, especially all you side hustlers and solopreneurs and everything, if systems are overwhelming and kind of a place where you get stuck, then I am really excited to be covering this in depth in my mastermind, the Sugar and Spikes VIP Soiree for rising side hustlers. It's going to be really great. And we're going to do a deep dive about like why systems can be overwhelming and how to build systems piece by piece so that it isn't so overwhelming and you can create content and create a web presence in a sustainable way. So you can take those unplanned breaks if you want to, or if it's out of necessity or whatever. So if content and systems are super overwhelming, go to DesireeW.com/VIP and check out the Sugar and Spikes VIP Soiree. It's 3 months. We're going to cover so many great things. We're going to be looking at branding and design. We have a designer coming in. He's going to be talking and doing a presentation and a training. We're going to be talking about content. We're going to be talking about doing all of the things that you need to do to make your side hustle and business sustainable and something that like you can't wait to conquer. And even idealize like what it would look like to take your side hustle full time. So, go to DesireeW.com/VIP to check that out. And I do still have some openings available for my one-on-one coaching. You can find all the info at DesireeW.com. And also you guys can follow me everywhere on the social media. It's DezW Ms. MBA. So that's DEZWMS MBA on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. I think that's all of them. If it's a social media piece and I'm there, it's DezW Ms. MBA, and you can find me. That's all for now, and I hope you guys have a fabulous end of November and beginning of December, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.